Good morning, everybody. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. But I pray that everybody's warm and safe and doing well. I wanted to talk this morning about forgiveness. Forgiveness seems to have so many people in the chokehold, you know, that they just can't move forward with their lives. And I know sometimes some things that are done to us seem so egregious, like we can never get over it and we can never move past it. But what we have to remember is that forgiveness is the gift that we give ourselves. You know, when the Bible talks about forgiveness, like in Ephesians 1:7-8, it says, through his blood, God has provided redemption and forgiveness of sins. What forgiveness really is, according to the dictionary, forgiveness is the act of intentionally letting go of anger and resentment towards someone who has wronged you. And when I stop and think about that alone, we have to remember that when we want to hold on to unforgiveness, and granted, some of the things that have been done, to some people, I can understand, in feeling the way that we feel or whatever. But forgiveness is letting go of the negative feelings toward the situation, the negative feelings toward that person. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness does not mean reconnection. Forgiveness does not mean you letting this person back into your life to continue to run rapid, because the Bible does tell us to guard our heart, and a part of guarding our heart is setting boundaries. Okay? But forgiveness is releasing the negative thoughts. Forgiveness is releasing that person even when you have an opportunity to go back, or to punish that person that time comes around. That's how you know if you ain't forgave or not. Because if you have a chance to get back at that person and you take it, that lets you know that you are still holding on to some resentment and unforgiveness. But forgiveness involves letting go of the feeling like you have the right to punish somebody who's wronged you. Okay, forgiveness involves letting go of the attitudes and behaviors connected to it, connected to those negative thoughts and feelings. Forgiveness is intentional. It is an intentional choice. Okay, but a lot of people mess up because they think, oh, okay, because this religion has raised us to say, because this not the Bible, but religion has said, okay, this person who raped you, you're supposed to let them back in your life. You know what I mean? So they can continue to misuse and abuse you. That's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is, yes, you raped me. Yes, this hurt me. But yes, I forget. I'm in a place to where I've got to let that go so I can move forward with my life. Other than that, when we hold on to unforgiveness, we are drinking poison, expecting that person to die. It does not work like that. And then too, when I think about forgiveness, I have to think about how much I needed to be forgiven. Okay? They had done plucked Jesus' beard out. They done pierced his side. They done spit on him. They done did all of the above. And do you know what he says? Forgive them, Father. Because they don't know what they doing. You hear me? After they done pretty much disemboweled him and everything. But that's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness does not mean that that person has the same rights and privileges to come in and misuse you and mishandle you again. Okay? But when we walk in forgiveness, that means now that we release them. When we walk in forgiveness, peace comes with that. It's actually benefits for forgiveness. Forgiveness brings a sense of peace. It allows you to focus on yourself. What I have, because, just as much as I need forgiveness, I've had to forgive. And I believe that's most of our stories, because at the end of the day, I don't care how much of a saint we think we are, most of us are the villains in somebody's story. Most of us, and that must be for me because I know I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? From family, children, everything, I'm the bad guy in somebody's story. You understand? I'm in need of that forgiveness. But even when it comes to me, be it my children, be it my family, if they don't choose and we can't reconnect how we did before, that's okay. They don't owe me that no more than you owe anyone that. Forgiveness is a conscious decision. It's a choice that when I think about you, you hear me, I can speak blessings over you as opposed to condemning you to hell. Like we don't like I'm not one Jesus away from hell. We all one Jesus away from hell. And we have to remember that. But with forgiveness comes self-respect. It helps you to Retain your self-respect while also respecting the wrongdoer as a moral agent. That means that goes back here again. You'll find yourself even having compassion when you get to a place of forgiveness on the person that has wronged you. You'll recognize, guess what? You just as messed up and as much as of a crackpot, maybe in a different way, as I have been, or as I am. But see, we don't look at it like that because we are the ones on the other side of that hurt. And it's not until we start to learn how to flip that coin and say, you know what, the same rules apply to me. The same rules apply to me when it comes to someone that I've hurt. You know, they've got to make the same choices and they have to choose and make a conscious decision just like I do. Okay? But the way to practice forgiveness is to walk in humility, remembering that we're all the bad guy in someone's story, remembering that we're all imperfect. Walking through this process of forgiveness, be patient and gentle with yourself. It's not always overnight. Some things have taken me years to forgive. Do you hear me? Conscious. It has been a conscious decision that when I think about certain people, I've had to stop and say, you know what? God bless them. Now, even if I drove by and saw that they were on fire, guess what? I would at least spit on them. Because there was a point that I wouldn't even spit on you. You can be burning with gasoline draws on. You understand me? But I would at least pour some water on them now. But it's a conscious decision. But be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself time. It's a process. Fill yourself with the Word of God. As you begin to fill yourself with the Word of God, these things become easier because you recognize that Jesus died for all of us. He didn't just die for the Christians. Jesus died for the saved and the unsaved. He died, he shed his blood for all of us. Okay, so that we all can be reconnected to the Father. That's what he did for us. Okay? And start forgiving in small ways. Little things. You hear me? Little things. Start forgiving in small ways. But just remember to be patient with yourself. That forgiveness is a conscious decision. But I'm telling y'all, do yourself a favor and forgive. Life is too short. Life is entirely too short. And I refuse to spend 5, 15, 20. I've seen people who have held a grudge for 30 years. And then I also see the fruit of their life, what that looks like. What it's done to them mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I'm talking about, I've seen disease being produced. I've seen cancer arise. I've seen them just look so aged. You know what I mean? Because all they can do is ruminate on what someone has done to them. But forgiveness is releasing yourself. It is a conscious decision to say, I release you. I'm not going to let that continue. You're not going to have this hold over me. You are not going to run the rest of my life. Yes, that happened and it hurts. You understand me? But I have to move forward with my life, and I can't keep giving you that power. I can't keep giving you that energy. I have to go forward. Okay? All right. Do yourself a favor and forgive. Love y'all.